and they didn't use it. I thought perhaps they might, after the housing and stock market fall in the late 1980s, they had the perfect opportunity to go one way or the other, and they went the wrong way again.
Well, they didn't have enough traitors in government at that time.
That's probably true, and I can hark back to that. But I think it was their greed more than anything else. They wanted to have more chips than the next CFR member. And, you know, among people who make lots of money, which I did at one time, it's not the money anymore. It doesn't mean anything. It's the game and who wins. And I think part of that enters into their psyche. A good example of that is Morris Greenberg, who was given AIG on a platter by the OSS, which he worked for during the Second World War. And it became a way station for the CIA, among other things. And there were other players involved I won't go into, like Nicholas Deek. But the point is that there are people who are in that group who play that game, and they can't help themselves.
And they have a complete disdain and disgust for anyone who's independent, because they're not just going to implode the states and the city economies and county economies to bring us under their control. This is all designed. The more things go bankrupt, the more unfunded mandates, the more government programs, the more environmental rules to shut down what jobs we've got, while China has zero and then only moves it there faster. It's not just that. They admit, and they always do this, they're going to use the giant hordes of dumbed-down people who have no jobs and no future to go vote to take the little bit of money the middle class has got. When the elite doesn't spend money with the public, it's the middle class that is the real economy, and the middle class is almost gone, and they're going to slit the throat of that. And it's just, you know, Bob, you talk like we've won. I think we're in the fight. I mean, why are you so confident now? I mean, what, you've looked at the breaks, you've looked at the different angles, and you don't see them pulling this off? Because I agree, they don't have a sure ace in the hole. They don't have a roll flush up their sleeve, a royal flush, but they can stage nuke attacks. They can start World War III with Iran. They can claim North Korea did something and start something. These people have got biological weapons they admit they have, where they fly over a city, spray you with a virus, and you're literally a retarded zombie the next day. I mean, and they're admitting they want to release it. Bill Gates does. And they're out in the open, just like, so, I mean, I'm not trying to scare folks. I just want them to realize that these people aren't, there's a reason they're so arrogant. I just don't want to be overconfident. I'm not saying you're being overconfident. Give me your take on that.
I just believe we've got them by the tail. They just never expected this outcome that's really happened in the last 5 to 10 years. And I don't think they thought we could do it. I don't think that we have the dynamics to do it. And even with all those evil weapons and things that they can do, they can't really protect themselves. If somebody wants to do away with somebody, it's easy. It is. It's very easy. You may get caught, you may get killed, but the person that you're going to do away with is going to be done away with. And that is a big hole in their defensive mechanism.
Well, that's what Nick Rockefeller...
If they've got people who are perhaps 30 to 50% unemployment, there's going to be a lot of people out there who have nothing to live for, and they're going to go after those people. And they know that, but they somehow think there's an immunity there, and it's not there.
Well, let me expand on that. I want to come back and discuss this more with you, Bob, because you have hit the nail on the proverbial head there. That's what Nick Rockefeller told Aaron Russo, and that's what I've read in their own writings. They want the tracker chip, face scan, biometric control system so they can get away with robbing us, but that's not what history shows. The more they try to make it impossible to reach them, then people, almost at a spiritual level, will do whatever it takes to get to them. It's almost like by them trying to build this, they've shown their hand, and they're not invincible. You can kill anybody. So let's talk about that when we come back. I mean, you know, all this high-tech crap isn't going to protect them. Where the globalists are going if they succeed, why they're so arrogant. Because Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have announced this new nanotech vaccine they just spray on you. Bill Gates, the public doesn't trust vaccines, so we're going to have it in the food and in the air. And these little mosquitoes here, he actually did this on TV, we've got them engineered to deliver the vaccine, and whether you like it or not, yeah, mixing with the DNA and RNA of the mosquito. That's a really wonderful idea with the other viruses that have RNA inside of it. So, again, there's this throwing it in the face. Now, I guess they did air it, because Nightline's been here, CNN, MSNBC, PBS, HBO. I mean, so this is a promo, and it's coming out when? June 16th. But we've got the promo. The article's up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Rise of the New Right. MSNBC documentary cites Alex Jones and Rand Paul as extremist. And just everywhere, we're the big enemies. What do you make of this desperate attack on Rand Paul and Rachel Maddow putting out a fake transcript where he says he's against the Civil Rights Act, which he never said?
I think it's part of trying to fight back. They did that with Glenn Beck and Fox, and it didn't work. In fact, somebody said to me this week that Mr. Beck's ratings had fallen 50%. I don't know whether that was on radio or television. It was probably on radio. And I don't know why. But people are discovering that he isn't what he seems to be. And it's the same kind of thing, using this false propaganda. And they shouldn't do it. I shouldn't give them any advice because I don't want to help them. But they shouldn't do it because they're going to get caught. Communications are too good today. I mean, things happen, and 15 minutes later, they're all over the world, and everybody knows about it. And because of the Internet and because of talk radio, they know the truth. And so that's why the insiders are doing what they're doing. They're desperate. I mean, just stop and think for a minute. What a dumb thing to do with Rand Paul. I mean, he's got all the time in the world between now and November to reverse what they had to say about him and expose the lie. Well, it didn't take very long to do that, but it's dumb that they did it in the first place. And so when people do dumb things, they're being forced into it.
Well, that's in my stack. I haven't gotten to that yet, but we'll cover it next hour. Rasmussen, which is one of the most respected, and other scientific polls show Rand has even gotten a bigger than 20-point lead all of a sudden. He's gained a few extra points with the demonization because the media has been caught lying about him in the last week. But then George Soros has his own polling group through Daily Kos come out and put out basically a fake poll saying he's lost 17 points of support in the last 5 days. Just a complete hoax.
Well, you can expect that from George Soros, who, for your listeners who don't know, that he appealed and was still convicted of stock fraud and market manipulation in France. And he paid an outrageous fine. They should have put him in jail. Had he not been a top member of the Illuminati, he would have ended up in jail.
All right, Bob, stay there. Could you do a few more segments with us?
Of course.
All right, we're going to open the phones up for Bob Chapman, 1-800-259-9231. Bunch of other news coming up straight ahead. Final hour, only 70 seconds away.